Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a story where faith, football, and the internet all collided in a really big way. It's a viral moment that has an entire nation talking and asking some pretty tough questions.
So is there a line? That's the question at the very heart of this huge online debate happening in Nigeria right now. And you know what? It was all kicked off by just one single viral video. So let's get into what exactly lit the fuse here.
All right, so our story actually begins not on a football field, but inside a church. A pretty well-known pastor decides to lead a prayer for his country's national team. And, well, that's when things just exploded.
And this really gets to the core of the whole thing. On one side, you've got the pastor's plea, a prayer meant to fire up the country and support the Super Eagles in their bid for the World Cup. But on the other side, you have the public's verdict. And wow, was it harsh. People were accusing him of trivializing faith, even making a mockery of religion.
So, let's rewind a bit. What exactly was this viral moment? Who was involved? And what was said that caused such a massive stir?
Okay, so the man at the center of all this is Pastor Jimmy Odukoya. And you got to understand, he's not just any pastor. He's the senior pastor of a major church, the Fountain of Life Church. But he's also a legit celebrity, a well-known Nollywood actor who makes no secret of his love for football.
And here it is. This is the moment that blew up online. Right in the middle of a church service, Pastor Odukoya leads his congregation with so much passion, saying, "That World Cup we must enter, God no go shame us." Basically, we have to get into that World Cup, God won't let us be ashamed. That's the clip that went everywhere.
Now, you have to realize the stakes here were monumental. This wasn't some friendly match. This was a huge deal. A qualifying match for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The entire country's hopes were pinned on this game.
But, and this is the twist that really fueled the whole controversy, the prayer didn't seem to work. The Super Eagles lost 4-3 on penalties to the Democratic Republic of Congo. And just like that, their World Cup dreams were completely extinguished.
So, right after that devastating loss, guess what started making the rounds online again? Yep, that prayer video. It resurfaced with a vengeance, and the backlash was immediate and pretty brutal.
This single post from a popular influencer on X really captured how a lot of people felt. God is not a football punter. In other words, you don't treat God like someone you place a bet with, hoping for a win in a sports game. That was the core of the argument.
And the criticism got really specific. People were saying it attracts ridicule and mockery to pastors, that it turns the church into a comedy arena. There was this strong feeling that it presented God like a genie that decides outcomes. Many felt it just made Christianity look like, and I'm quoting here, a circus performance, that the whole thing was irreverent and a laughingstock.
And the comments just kept coming. You saw people all over social media saying they felt offended watching a senior pastor use Sunday service for frivolity. Someone else said pastors have turned the altar into a jamboree for pathetic display of tomfoolery. The main takeaway for so many was simply that it cheapens the faith, that they turn the entire church into a comedy skit.
But here's the thing. For a lot of the online critics, this wasn't just some one-off incident. As it turns out, Pastor Odukoya's football-related prayers have actually made headlines before.
Yeah, according to reports, he's previously led prayers for the English Premier League club Manchester United, again during a church service. He even reportedly suggested that their poor performance at the time was a form of discipline from God.
So, all of this brings us right back to that big, complicated question. In a world where faith, celebrity, and sports all collide so publicly, where exactly do we draw the line between a genuine prayer and a public performance? It's a debate that really forces us to take a hard look at the role of religion in our modern, very digital world.